Right, let's return now to the immense medical crisis that is unfolding in Gaza after nearly 2 years of Israeli attacks on the Strip and a nearly total blockade of medical supplies. We're now joined by Dr. Nada Abu Alrub, who is volunteering at al-Shifa hospital. Dr. Nada, thank you so much for finding the time to speak to Al Jazeera. I'm sure it's a very difficult and busy time for you. You're in al-Shifa hospital. Videos of you and your colleague have gone viral speaking about the horrors. It's sheer and utter horror that you are seeing, but this is happening every day. Can you talk to us about, you've woken up this morning, what are you seeing in the hospital? What are you seeing in the corridors, in the A&E?
Well, it's so sad. It's so sad. So last night we had a slaughter after slaughter. The bombing is ongoing. You feel like they're just kind of trying all type of weapons on these people. So everyone, all families, so the whole family, because they bombed them, they struck them at the beach in a public area. So the family with the kids and the mums and the dads and the aunties, uncles and cousins, they all arrive in pieces, and you don't know whose hand is this and whose leg is this. It's like you try to find like a leg. It's kind of a horror movie. So people arrive dead, and some don't even make it to the hospital. So the striking is ongoing. You can see even the signs of the snipers in our room. No one is safe here. It's constant outside. It's all dust and bombing and rubble. No building survived. No animal survived. No human survived. Total, complete blockade. The hospital running out of the bases. It did run out, but I mean, like the only bases that are left are running out. But today's scene it was heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. So it was a slaughterhouse and a horror scene, but now it's a graveyard. So people are escaping to the south, but the situation is south is horrible too. Like they're still killing them there, and there's a mass starvation. They kill them at the humanitarian aid sites. So it's killing from every direction that you can ever imagine, psychologically, emotionally, physically. The type of injuries that I see the kids with, they're shredded into pieces. It's like it's unacceptable. These are war crimes. These are crimes of anywhere. It's a cruel type of, like, any occupation or anything. You just don't understand why cannot anyone have the courage or care enough to stop this from happening. We need to stop it. Like, every minute counts that you can save whole families from being wiped out of the planet just because no one is able to tell the Israeli to stop this mass killing. No one is safe here. Everyone is just waiting their turn. But you need to think about, like, the least is not possible, but but the hospital today, al-Shifa, honestly, it was one of the saddest days I've seen. It's just, you see how it is almost now a graveyard.
Can you describe to us what you mean by that?
From what I hear.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Dr. Nada. There's so much I want to ask you, but when you talk about it being a graveyard, you just said it's a slaughterhouse and now a graveyard. In what sense do you mean?
So basically, we kind of burying people in the hospital. We have more than 1,500 dead bodies, now more. That was a week ago, under the rubble in the hospital, because we're being kind of bombed all around the hospital. People are either now here are dead or severely disabled and die with the infection, malnutrition, or they are escaping south wherever they can. They're escaping, just walking and some of them, they can't even escape because of their severe injury, but everyone is escaping now, because what happened before, when the al-Shifa was under siege, they just they captivate and they detain everyone, including the doctors, with no charge for months, and they get tortured. So they know that, and the Israeli now are so close to us. They're less than 400 meters from what I've heard away. So once they come into the hospital, we know that the danger is bigger. Yes, we kind of can be blown out at any time, but the fear of them as well, kind of going through that detention and torture and jail, and for no charge and no reason.
And that brings me to my next question, actually. You were talking about the arrest of doctors. In fact, al-Shifa hospital director was arrested and tortured, then released on unproven claims that Hamas was operating as part of under the al-Shifa complex. Now, you just also mentioned that the tanks are reportedly about 400 meters away. Of course, al-Shifa hospital was targeted back in November 2023 under siege. Horrific images that came out of that. Is there any fear at the moment that this could potentially happen once again?
Unfortunately, yes, and that's the fear. Like they experienced it before, and it was horrific and a nightmare, and they don't want to go through that again. They had enough. Those people, they've been like this for 2 years. I'm not sure. I'm not a politician, and those excuses, they just don't make sense to the. It's just an insult to your intellectual. Any intellect or any brain matter, those excuses that I hear about why they're doing this to all the kids and families and the mass killing and the doctors that we're working with. And they are the most beautiful, people that we worked with. They just basically putting their life to help to save a life. And they're working despite they lost everything they have. They actually are looking after us because they didn't allow us, hardly anything enough, no money, no food, nothing, just one bag and one carry on. What will that be enough for me and my colleague? So they're actually looking after these are all, I don't want to go into the political part, but it's all excuses that it's kind of offensive to the human brain just to hear those stories that don't make sense. But the thing is, we don't want talks. Like, honestly, things either have to stop or people here are gone.
Right.
Already the buildings are gone. It's all dust and rubble. The slaughter and the mass killing, I wish you can show it on TV. I wish there is a channel that, people can voluntarily pick to see what's happening on the ground, to see people slaughtered into pieces around, and mostly 70% or more are just kids. And then 20% are women, and then the rest are like kind of men. And we're all humans. I don't say that I don't feel sorry for men. Of course I do. But someone needs to document and show those crimes. It's just impossible for the human brain. But the problem is they're making it unlivable from every direction. From every direction, there's no money, no food, no fuel, no water, nothing. How can they live? How can they move south? They tell me, okay, we'll move south. There's no place there, but how can we go? They all have amputation. They don't have legs and arms. How are they going even to move? They don't have money. They don't have a car. Even if they have a car, there's no fuel. So once you live here, you think about the smallest thing, you can't even achieve it. It's scary. People are just waiting their turn. Everyone has lost their.
And
everyone
Dr.
in Gaza have lost many family members.
Medical staff have lost family members, of course, as well as patients. It's layer upon layer. I just wanted to very quickly ask you for an update because yourself and your colleague had spoken about one of the most horrific scenarios straight out of a horror movie, only it's actually real. A woman beheaded, 9 months pregnant, delivering her baby by C-section. Do you have any update on what the situation is with that baby?
No, because she was transferred to another hospital. But that was not the only case. We had a lot of beheaded. It's not like we only beheaded. We had brain matter out. We had, like most of the people and kids end up having 3 limbs amputated on top of other injuries. We had a lot of pregnant women now, emergency doctors, whether here or in Al-Aqsa today, they delivered, they do cesarean section on the ground in emergency to try to save those kids. So unfortunately, we were shocked when we arrived, but they told us, Nada, this is nothing. You haven't seen anything yet. So this is a normal daily scene, and not on one person. It's like, the tens and hundreds every couple of hours. You're talking about the strongest illegal weapons on us all the time, the bombing happening all the time, and all the building and tents and anything in the street, they're just being wiped out and bombed. So what do you expect? The human body will be spread out in pieces. So we're just trying to save whatever we can. So we try, but it's not enough. We're trying to save and they destroy. What is my help in the amount of the destruction that they're doing? And kids are helping, kids are coming and they're seeing their family members shredded into pieces, and whomever is still alive, they're in the hospital because there's no one looking after them, and they have to witness all of this, and they're holding the scissors or the saline and putting the gauze. Those kids are honestly, it's
I can hear you're struggling to find the right words there because it's clearly beyond human comprehension, Dr.
But
Nada.
what's sad is that no one is able to stop it. Why is no one able to happen to because it would be another scenario.
What do
Why
you-
there is no one has the guts, the courage, the pride to stop this illegal crimes?
And Dr. Nada Abu Alrub, what do you think needs to be done to put an end to this as immediate as possible? What message can you take back when you do go back to your home country?
Well, it needs to come from high above, like from the governments to state, to kind of, stand up against these war crimes, to call it as it is, remove the fear or whatever they have, or the greed, or about, is it about money or I don't know, occupation and imperialism and all of those things. We live in a day and age, you need to be, if you want to be civilized, at least be a human. And you're not coming to people who did not have anything. They were under complete blockade for years, and they built the best high rises. They had a beautiful life they built everything with their own hands. Those people are very resilient. They're doing their best to live. They still can survive if you leave them alone and let their aid and the normal life things come in and stop their killing. They still can make it. But they need to stop this occupation from doing all this illegal mass killing into this extent.
Okay.
Otherwise, no one will be left here. No one will be left, either by slow killing or normal killing. So you'll either be detained and tortured, and they say that's the worst. All the experience we've heard from all the doctors and everyone who has been detained, it was that even at the hospital, they were just standing on the wall for more than a month and not allowed kind of to leave, apart from going to the toilet. Or they're being bombed, all the family, and there's no single person here that hasn't lost more than one or more family member. They've lost all their houses, all their belongings, starvation, they're being killed at the humanitarian aid site. There's nothing is allowed in, like they're going to die in anyway. So it's just kind of, which way it's going to be their end.
Yeah.
And they're taking over. They're close to the ground. They destroyed everything before al-Shifa. It's all just now rubble and dust. What are we waiting for?
That's a big
those
question.
People don't count. We
Of
just
course.
don't care. Let them kill them all, and then we'll make a sorry day. Oh, we're sorry about what happened to you in the past. Is that the plan?
Of course, Dr. Nada Abu Alrub, your position there is, very clear. Some of the worst things that you have seen and you've described to us, and you've been speaking to a lot of international media, trying to put the message across.
I'm sorry,
that
I can't
more
hear you very well. The bombing is all around us. Yes.
That more needs to be done. Well, there you go. That's exactly proof of the situation that Dr. Nada Abu Alrub is in, as well as her colleagues that she is working with, Palestinians that are working tirelessly, as well as the patients at al-Shifa complex. We've just lost connection there.
Don't miss out and get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.